Not far from my home, there used to be a deserted castle. Legend has it that it was once home to a prince. The prince had a puppy, but one day the puppy died. The prince was inconsolably distraught and offered a reward to anyone who could resurrect the dog, saying that he would be willing to give anything in return. On the first rainy day after the news got out, a witch came to the castle. She touched the puppy's dry body with her wet hand, and the puppy's fur instantly softened. The witch said that she wanted the most beautiful sapphires in the castle. On the second rainy day, a bird keeper came to the castle. She took a black feather from the strange bird she carried with her and stroked the puppy's head with it. The puppy started breathing again, but remained asleep. The bird keeper said that she wanted the most elegant item in the castle. On the third rainy day, a tailor came to the castle. She took out a piece of white cloth and wrapped it around the puppy. On the next rainy night, when the owls hoot, and you will get what you want. She asked the prince if he had met her two sisters, one dressed in oriental clothing and possessing wet palms, and the other traveling with a strange bird that always perched upon the heads of the dead. The prince said he hadn't. Before leaving, the tailor said what she wanted was a golden heart. It rained all day, and when night fell, the owls outside the castle window began to hoot. When the first bell rang, the barking of the puppy and the prince's cries of joy could be heard echoing throughout the castle. When the 12th bell rang, all returned to silence. The next day, the prince's servants went to wake him, only to find his bed soaked with water and covered with a white cloth. They lifted the white cloth to find the prince lying deathly still. His sapphire eyes closed tightly, a crown of black feathers adorning his head, and golden flowers sprouting from his chest. And the prince breathed no more.
The ancients of our sect once worshipped their respect. The ancients of our sect once worshipped their respective lords of the city for generations. They believed that a goddess would be reborn as one of them every generation, and as long as the ancients of our sect once worshipped their respective lords of the city for generations. They believed that a goddess would be reborn as one of them every generation, and as long as the goddess danced for the Lord would be blessed by the heavens. One particular generation suffered a severe drought. The people became destitute, and the two eldest sons of the Lord fell into a fierce battle for succession. The goddess chose to bless the benevolent second-born son, and at the sacred ceremony, she danced and prayed for rain. Soon, rain indeed fell, revitalizing the barren land. The people were convinced that the second-born son was the chosen one. The benevolent second-born son did not wish to embarrass his brother and placed him in charge of an annexed territory. However, his kindness was not rewarded. After a few short years, the firstborn son began recruiting soldiers in his territory. He invaded the city, forcing his younger brother to abdicate. In order to silence all who opposed him, he sent his men to set fire to his brother's mansion and then said to the onlookers, "If he were truly blessed by the gods, then let there be rain from the heavens to put out this fire." That night, prayers for rain were heard coming from the mansion. But alas, no rain fell. The fire burned for 3 days and 3 nights before finally going out. Though the people assumed that the second-born son had indeed been abandoned by the gods, his body was not found among the ruins of his residence. Only the soaking wet body of the goddess at the center of the mansion, quietly resting in an eternal slumber.